Hey, how's it going? Check in for today and a few little bits and pieces of progress, things I've actually done, things that have come back to me. It's just all these conversations. I've been here so many times and I just kind of stopped getting excited or optimistic about things that happen because it's my assumption now, and I don't know if I need to kind of maybe re-examine this, but it's my assumption that they're probably not going to come to anything huge, but I'll still pursue them to their natural conclusion. Whether that's stopping me or just protecting me from disappointment, I'm not quite sure yet. But I feel like obviously I get a bit of a kick and a bit of a lift when I feel like I'm making some progress when someone's got back to me and said, yeah, we're interested in having a conversation about that. But I've been here too many times now to get too excited about the prospects, and I think that's probably where I made a few mistakes in the past where I've just assumed that that's it, done deal, and then things are very different. But anyway, so yes, that's been good, and I've had a couple of really good conversations with people today as well about some of the things that I'm doing, some of the things I'm trying to do, some of the things I'm trying to kind of move into as well. I have this thing that about kind of how I'm positioning myself as a speaker, and I've, as they say, picked my lane, which is well-being. But within that, there's an awful lot of scope for how I can tell that story, how I can use that message of well-being to kind of have different impacts, to help people in different ways. And what I mean by that is, I could go onto a stage and I can talk about what happens when you eat sugar and how we shouldn't eat so much sugar and how we should be more active and we should be getting more sleep and all of those things. So I can kind of talk pure well-being. I can talk habits and how to actually establish more of those habits and to self-sabotage less and to procrastinate less on the things that we know we should be doing. But actually there's a huge piece in what I do, which is about performance. Well-being as it relates to how we feel and how we perform, which I'm really kind of interested in because that's essentially what I do when I'm coaching clients one-to-one. It's very little about the actual well-being side, much more about the performance aspect, the personal inner game, the performance of how we bounce back from setbacks and how we are able to think more clearly and make better, faster decisions. All of these things are the things that I focus on when I'm coaching, and actually we touch on them in some of the talks and seminars and workshops that I have done in the past. But I'm really interested in this idea of actually putting together some more business-focused material that takes what I'm doing already and actually positions it more as with a kind of a stronger business case for it. And that's where I've been, as I've said in many of these videos, kind of struggling to sell the idea of well-being and what my particular solution is for well-being, and giving keynotes and talks and seminars and workshops and online programs, because it's not like someone spends X amount of money on that, then as a business, how are they going to get that money back? Whereas if you're giving a talk that has, or a workshop or a training that has a business focus, then it's a bit more of a clear-cut connection between invest this money here, you're going to make that money back as a business. And it's just that kind of psychology. And having seen lots of sales trainers, lots of strategy trainers and speakers and people who talk around more businessy subjects, it certainly seems to be a very different approach and a very different type of conversation that they have with prospective clients to the ones that I'm having. So, early days at the moment with those thoughts, and certainly not planning on moving away from well-being, because that's as I said, that's my lane, and everything I do will always have that as as the underpinning, the foundation for it. Because if I'm talking about well-being, if I'm talking about performance rather, then it's coming from well-being, and I need to talk about sleep, I need to talk about nutrition, I need to talk about how activity impacts on your ability to be your best self and to function, to perform at your optimum. That's going to come down to how you're looking after yourself. So kind of your physical game connects with your inner game and so on. So there's lots of connections there, and I think interesting interplays. But really the last few days I've been thinking about this a bit more, and how I can just maybe look at investigating, nudging into that. It's just, again, trying to find the right people who I can bounce those ideas off and possibly even try some of this material out on as well. So I've kind of done a little bit. I did a workshop last year on values, eliciting core personal values. And I think I could probably make more of that, and that's a big part of what I do. All my coaching clients, we go through core values, we do a lot of belief work, and that lends itself quite well to a workshop scenario as well. So there's definitely potential for it. It's just a case of, is this me just reacting and thinking, oh, I need to do something different, or is this a genuine kind of off spin of what I'm already doing with the kind of the more strict well-being and motivation to make personal change track that I'm on? Anyway, lots of thoughts. Obviously nothing, well, there's no harm in having a few thoughts, right? I'm just sitting here, I'm spending the days, I'm having these conversations and thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do that, but where am I going to put my energy? I need to keep focusing my energy on the things that I'm already working on, but I also need to be open-minded enough. This is my kind of opinion now. I need to be open-minded enough to investigate these other opportunities, or even just to see if they are opportunities. So anyway, that's where I'm at with it at the moment. I guess if I was being inundated with offers to speak on well-being and what I'm already doing, then I probably wouldn't be thinking about it. But the fact is, I'm not, which suggests that either my approach is wrong. Talk about that. The whole pivot towards outbound. There's another story. Or it means that perhaps I need to just change that messaging slightly and kind of moving away from just well-being and looking at actually talking more about performance. Obviously, this is to the kind of the corporate business market rather than the seminars that I put on the other day. So yeah, lots of thinking is still to be done with that one. It feels like it's getting there. Feels like it's just kind of flickering forwards with enough pace, enough momentum. Some of these conversations, these dealings I'm having with people, just keeping me going. I'm on the edge. I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to lose my motivation. I'm not going to lose my optimism. I'm not going to lose my determination. Now that's not even in question. But how I'm feeling about it, I'm still positive because I'm just getting enough of a kind of an indication that I'm still moving in the right direction. So still there, still moving forwards, and still plenty of work to do. There's my check-in for today. We're back again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.